Hi class, one more video. This is just basically how to find the assignments and get them done. And I'm going to go over this thing called the practice simple genetics. So the deal is we're back at classroom, right? We're at this thing called new assignment, Punnett squares genetic problem set. On this, I posted a lesson that is here. That's on YouTube. That's still downloading. That's going to review this document called Animal Genetics Introduction. Okay. Now, what we're going to be doing is moving to the next piece, which is here. So this is called the practice simple genetics. So the deal is, I would watch the video. If you were here last week and you did some of this, this is probably like a really easy review for your. If you missed class, I definitely recommend watching the whole deal. Then you're going to review this PDF. Now, this assignment here, I want to go over a little bit. So once you've watched the video and you've done this animal genetics introduction, you're now going to go to this thing called a practice. All right. Now, this is a Google Doc. The Google Doc gives you basically just a rundown. You're kind of dissecting, no pun intended, how to do all these little genetic maneuvers. Okay. So you'll notice the yellow. You can write in what you need to, and so on. You can even do the Punnett squares as asked. Make sure you do all of them. I will say this, a challenge about a student, sometimes you're not sure, right? Well, guess what? You have to do the assignment, sure or not. So do your best on it. Remember how it goes. When we get back in class after Thanksgiving, you can always ask me questions, all right? But these problems here, just to give you an idea, you got to just follow the instructions as you read along and do your best on this. I'm not going to do another video on how to do all these, all right? But you got to be very clear and make sure you're being very careful with the language that is being asked of you, all right? I will say one thing that I don't think that we have studied is this thing we call genotype and phenotype, okay? So if I say genotype on something, all right, what do I really mean? The genotype is going to be the actual chromosomes, or in this case, the alleles, we said. So often, for example, don't write this in, but if we have like A and little a, right, we call that heterozygous. Or we have big A, homozygous dominant. We have little a, that is homozygous recessive. Now, what does that mean, though? So when we do these, and you'll notice, for example, they're talking about purple flowers being dominant over white, okay? So the purple flower genotype, right, is dominant. So I might use, big P, or big P, and little p. So I think the big P is going to represent purple. The little p, okay, is going to represent white. So the phenotype is what you see. It's the actual trait, okay? The trait that's going to be, in this case, visual because it's a flower. Not all traits are visual, believe me. But this is the trait. So phenotype is the actual trait. In this case, this will be purple, without a doubt. The little p, we call homozygous recessive. That will be white because there's no dominant. Now this one, even though it's heterozygous, there is the capital P dominant for purple. So this phenotype will, in fact, be purple. I misspelled that. Okay. So that gives you an idea of how that works. So when we talk about, again, genotype, it is the alleles that are inherited by the offspring, and the phenotype is the trait that appears. Okay. And we get into like little cute, what do you call these things? Guinea pigs, right? And that's it. So what could you do? Probably hard to find me during break. Generally, I kind of tune out from school. So if you get stuck on this, again, just do your best. Maybe ask a classmate, go to another science teacher, whatever it is. Otherwise, I wish you all a great Thanksgiving. I want you to relax, recharge, and when you come back, we will do further explorations. Okay? Adios. Take care.